Okay, I'm going to do a quick video of this 100-mile maintenance that I'm doing right around 95 miles. I'm not a good instructor. There's tons of videos how to change the oil and everything on these things, but I will say I drained the oil. I haven't had a real good look at it, but it came out super clean after 100 miles, so that's good. I'm not anticipating any shavings in there from what I saw, but there could be, and I'll update you guys here momentarily with the magic of edits. I'm also putting the magnetic kit in, and I'll show you that here momentarily. So here's the kit I'm going to install. It's the Prima. It has the oil filter, oil basket, I should say, not the main drain, and then two for the, one for the other side of the engine. There's two drain plugs on these, and then one for the gear oil. This particular, all the GY6 150cc's take exactly 24 fluid ounces of oil, so it's best to measure that out. You could probably eyeball it. These are pretty tolerant, but I like to get it precise. So once I get into that oil, I'll be right back. Here's a good look at the basket that just came out. It did not have anything in it. So that is a very, very good sign. No metal shavings whatsoever. Let's take a look at the oil. Now, like I've said in our previous videos, my biggest pet peeve when I used to work on bikes was the previous mechanics. Sorry if that's not focusing. There we go. They would crank the shit out of these drain bolts. They don't need cranked hard. It's literally, this one's already tight and snug, but it's literally just bump, 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 and just maybe just a little twist. Don't crank the bolts on. With the heat, they'll expand anyway, and they're going to get tight on their own. That's a good way to strip out one of these engines. All right, so now we're going to take a look at the oil itself and see how that turned out. It looks blacker than it did coming out, which is good, I guess. It's getting rid of that, but there's some metal. I don't know if you can catch that. That's the old drain plug in there, so I can just kind of ride that out. So there is some flakes in there, so that's good that they're out of there. Not too bad, about what I expected out of one of these new engines. Not a whole ton, just a little bit. Maybe a little bit there towards the edge too, but yeah, I guess there's quite a bit in there, but it's not like huge pieces. It's just little pieces from the, look. Yeah, that's not too bad at all. All right, new oil in. I'll be right back and we'll get into the gear oil. Okay, just a couple notes before I move on to the gear oil. I just got the cap on there. The magnetic kit that came in is 18 millimeter wrench. So it's 17 on factory. The factory oil drain plugs are 17 millimeter, and both these got changed over to 18, which who cares? Just make sure you oil the O-ring on the main drain plug before you put that back up in there. And what I like to do too is when I'm cleaning up after I'm filling the oil, I take a little bit of the grease and just kind of lubricate the bottom of the engine a little bit. Kind of old school. I don't know really how much it'll accomplish, but it'll definitely protect it somewhat against the rain, but just kind of clean it up a little bit so it looks good. But like I said, that did convert that plug into, I hope I get the plug in there, 18 millimeter. And the, if I can get underneath there, the other drain plug is an 18 millimeter too. So there was a little bit of metal shavings, but as expected, that's why you do these 100-mile change, to capture that. And that's also why it's important to put a magnetic kit, magnetic plugs in. Not necessarily needed, but it does help for future issues like that. But looked as expected. Like I said, I've done Suzuki's, Honda setups. You're always going to get some, so really nothing out of the ordinary. Looks pretty good overall. New oil's in. I use 10W40 motorcycle oil. These engines are pretty tolerant. You can put 1040 in. Some people put 1540. You know, use your best judgment on that. But the oil's in. Everything looks good. Minimal shavings. Now to the gear oil. Okay, so the gear oil came out great. Not a whole lot to say there. No metal shavings at all. The only thing I will notate is that the new, I don't know if I can get under there, but the new drain plug size is now 12 millimeter instead of 10 millimeter, which is super annoying. I don't know why they had to change everything, but they did. So now we have the bigger 18 millimeter main drain, and this one's 12 on this side of the axle. Kind of crazy to me, but it is what it is. Also, the oil pan on the other side, they changed that to 18 millimeters as well. Getting ready to put the new gear oil in. It takes exactly 4 ounces, and I just used, I'll show you what I used. So I just used this, just the 80W90 STP gear oil, primarily because it was cheap. It doesn't really matter, because it gets changed so often in these anyway. Same goes with the oil. Don't spend, you know, $20 a quart on oil like on a synthetic. Really doesn't matter. I just used, like I said, the Valvoline regular 4-stroke motorcycle oil. Synthetic oil is good, you know, in a car because you're putting hundreds, you know, tens of thousands of miles, whatever. Some people do. Should be 3,000 to 5,000, but people just let it run. Synthetic's probably pretty smart, but on these you change them so often, you really don't need synthetic oil unless you want to put it in there and spend the extra money. But that's up to you. So I'm going to get this in and I'll be right back. Okay, so it's the next day. I ended up getting interrupted like 1,000 times, so I didn't bother filming it all because it would have just been a nightmare to watch, and I apologize for that. Sorry this video seems rushed, but I have a million things I have to do, and I just want to kind of give everybody a general overview of what I've done. So we've gone over the oil, we've gone over the gear oil change. I want to add to that I did go ahead and make sure the forks were torqued. You know, that's one thing I didn't check. I wanted to make sure that we were good with that. And on this bike, they were super easy to get to. They were just up here. Everything looked tight and right. Everything was pretty good. I went ahead and took the cowl off up here, checked the brake fluid. It was fine, so I left that up. I did put an NGK Iridium spark plug in. So that way you just don't have to worry about it anymore. They're a little expensive. It was like 15 bucks, but worth it. It's something you won't have to think about. When you're putting those in, be very careful not to over torque, because that's one thing you don't want to strip is the cylinder head. What a nightmare that would be. Basically just get it in there, make it snug, make sure the O-ring is crushed, and just kind of leave it. Brakes, I went through and checked the brakes. The pads were good. In the front still, everything still works good. I did tighten the back brake a little bit because it was a little soft. It's still not the best back brake in the world, but it works okay. Usually when I stop on this thing, you know, most of your braking's in the front anyway, but when I brake, I just use both levers. So there's that. I want to add too that I did make a little kind of a, I guess you want to call it like a plate delete to get rid of that god-awful thing that was hanging there before. That thing weighed like 5 pounds, just a huge piece of metal, and it was kind of useless, so I kind of came up with that. I think it looks pretty good. Didn't have to drill any holes or modify the bike. It was just used what pieces I had and bolted it together, but it looks good. So yeah, that's it. Everything so far so good. I did want to mention too that this bike came stock. I don't know if I mentioned it in my last video. It came stock with 17-gram rollers, which that's pretty heavy. So I'm assuming they did that for gas mileage and top speed. Will I change those? I don't know. I mean, I'm 235 pounds-ish, and this thing chugs me around pretty good. I haven't had any issues with anything. I know a lot of people start messing around with the weights and stuff, and if you're looking for wheelies or performance, you can go for it. But I figure these engineers, they know what they're doing. They're putting these in, I would hope. I don't know if the Chinese kids are just throwing in anything they have available. Could be. I don't know. But I do know the 17-gram are heavy, but they do work. So yeah, if you like this kind of stuff, if you want to follow me along on this Vitacci, quote-unquote, Zoom 150 journey, like and subscribe. If you have any questions, anything I haven't addressed, go ahead and comment. Or if you just like Dodge Challengers, I also have quite a bit of content on that on my channel as well. Huge Mopar guy, so I do that kind of stuff. Yeah, so that's it. You know, one thing cool, I will point out that, like I said, I've been in power sports forever. I've been a motorcycle mechanic. it's kind of cool that they include this. It is a carbureted bike, so they put one of these drain extenders on here. So if you ever want to drain the bowl, it's already there. You just do it from here rather than having to take everything apart and get up to the bowl, hook a tube up or a hose. It's right there. So that's pretty cool. You don't see that a whole, you may now, you know, I haven't been in the industry in 3 or 4 years now, but there wasn't many back then. But it's cool to have that. That way, boom, winter time comes. If you're in a cold state, you can just drain it from there. You're done with it. So yeah, that's it. See you guys later.